Hello there. I'm so glad you could join us. Before I get going, I want to apologize that I couldn't be here personally, and I really hope that this evening will be, or this afternoon will be a helpful time for you. Takeaways from our conference in Willow Creek in Chicago. The first takeaway that's really has really made you appreciate New Covenant, and especially the staff here, is it's really obvious how working with Pastor Mark Eads and Pastor Mark Forstrom and really all the equipping staff as a unit, it's a unique thing. We are truly blessed here at New Covenant, and as I discussed and talked with other children's ministries, it really didn't matter the size, 8,000 member church, a 1,400 member church, 600 member church. I would ask the question, how do you associate, how do you relate to the other ministries, and specifically the middle school ministries? And without exception, not a single church saw the benefit or even the real reason why you would ever functionally relate to the middle school ministries. Unfortunately, there was many of them actually had a adversarial relationship. So that was a takeaway, a big takeaway that I think we take for granted here at New Covenant. The next thing that it's always a takeaway from Willow Creek is that, or any conference, is just the opportunity to relate and just be with people who are partnering with you in ministry. The team this year was no exception. That was my biggest takeaway, is just the opportunity to spend a lot of quality time with our teammates, and so for them I say thank you. The next thing that I wanted to just share quickly, some takeaways, some of the unfortunate things that we see as a trend in our culture that I think we sense, but we didn't articulate it. The first one is just the idea that the movement towards children leading the home. For the first time in history, children are more and more making major decisions in the home. And the church is not without exception there, and that is that really for the first time children are making a decision as far as what they think is good for them or what they want to do as far as it relates to church. That's resulting in very inconsistent attendance, or also even in the lack of participation in things that really are good for them, but they choose not to go because they don't like it. And it's a sad trend, because we know that there's not too many children that would want to have discipline, which really is to disciple. However, we know that discipline in itself is actually effective and necessary in order for a child to grow up with the characters of Christ. Another trend that they really discussed and covered pretty much in depth was really the trend away from kids really spending a lot of their time with kids stuff. For instance, I don't recall the exact percentage, but they shared as a very high percentage. I want to say like it's above 10–15% of kids surveyed that their best friend is someone they've never met. It's someone that they've met on the internet, and they've never met them, and they declared and they said that they were their best friends. So I thought that was pretty unique. Another thing that, and again, moving away from what we would perceive as a traditional childlike thing. Normally when we think of kids, especially 3rd and 4th grade, we think of them watching still cartoons or children type adventures, but they did a survey of TV shows that 3rd and 4th graders watch, and the #1 watched TV show for 3rd and 4th graders was CSI, and the #2 TV show was Desperate Housewives. And they shared this in the context of it being necessary for us to know our audience, and we as teachers and volunteers, people that work with children, it's important for us to understand who the children are and really what they're involved in, what's important to them, what do they value. The last thing that I took away was something that really helped affirm where we're heading as a church, as a ministry, and then they also gave some tools of how we could better do this. the main point was the necessity to equip families to really help support and come alongside and really complement the parents. And those are terms that we already use here at New Covenant, and it's also in our heart. We know that there's not a whole lot that we're going to accomplish if the children are not being nurtured at home. And so really that was the heartbeat of Family Night. What we wanted to do with Family Night really was not a child-directed ministry, although we wanted kids to have a blast coming there. The heart of that ministry is really to equip families and help families to discuss spiritual things and build foundations on spiritual things at home. Because we understand the hours that we have a child are so minute compared to the number of hours that a parent or a family would have a child in their home. So we know that is a very, very important aspect. And the last takeaway was really something that is really more things that we need to work on as equipping staff as a church, and also, you know, obviously it begins with us in these areas that we're kind of leading in ministry. But that is when we introduce ministry, or even as we have new families come into the church, is to communicate clearly and make sure what I call shared meaning. Make sure we both have an understanding why we're doing what we're doing, and how does it actually benefit the family. How do the ministries work together? Using again Family Night as an example, we launched Family Night. It seemed to be a very successful ministry, and it is. However, we realized we left out some major stakeholders as we planned Family Night. For instance, if the purpose of Family Night is to equip families, we really should have had Pastor Aaron more involved with the young adults, and Pastor Ty and Pat Reek really all involved in planning that, because obviously all of those ministries are ministering to those family units. So we felt that was very important, and it's something that we will be directing a lot of our attention towards. So I want to thank you for giving me this time to share with you. Again, I apologize for not being able to be with you. It's something about a son's graduation party I needed to attend today. So thank you again for your time. God bless.